Here's a rewritten version of your story, keeping the same length and flow while polishing the narrative for clarity and tension. 2 fake HOA officers thought they could intimidate my wife without consequences until they slammed her onto the ground. They didn't know I was home. They didn't know a Navy SEAL lived here. But they found out the instant I stepped outside, and the fear in their eyes betrayed them. It started like any calm afternoon in our suburban street. My wife Emily knelt by her rose bushes, humming softly as she watered the blooms. She always said the garden helped her unwind after stressful days. She didn't notice danger approaching in a black SUV, rolling to a slow, deliberate stop in front of our house. 2 men exited, dark uniforms, shiny badges, and the stark white letters HOA emblazoned across their vests. Something was immediately wrong. Their stance wasn't official. Their eyes weren't steady. They radiated hunger, not for justice, but for power. One stepped directly toward Emily. "You ignored HOA orders," he barked. "We're taking you in." Emily frowned, confused. "I haven't received any notice." "You don't have the—" Before she could finish, he yanked her arm violently. Emily cried out, voice cracking, struggling. "Let go! You're hurting me." Hearing that scream from inside the house cut through me like a knife. Nothing strikes deeper than the sound of fear in the voice of the woman you love. I bolted for the door. Stepping outside, time seemed to freeze. Emily lay on the ground, cheeks scraped, bleeding, trembling as she tried to push herself up. The 2 men loomed over her like predators. Something snapped inside me, not uncontrolled rage, but the cold, lethal calm drilled into me as a Navy SEAL. I walked toward them, measured steps slow, precise. Their heads turned, eyes locking onto bright yellow letters across my chest. Navy SEAL. Their confidence cracked in an instant. I stopped a few feet away. "You laid your hands on my wife," I said quietly, "and you're not real officers." The first officer's throat bobbed nervously. "Sir, step back." I stepped closer. Or what? They finally understood they had made the worst mistake of their lives. I wouldn't let them walk away after what they did. The fake officers froze as I approached, each inch tightening an invisible noose. Behind them, Emily wiped the blood from her cheek with trembling fingers. Seeing her like that ignited something deep in me. No husband should ever witness his wife hurt. The taller officer lifted a hand weakly. "Sir, this is official HOA enforcement. Step back or we will escalate." "Escalate," I repeated, voice low and sharp. "You already assaulted my wife." The second officer's confidence wavered. He shifted backward, trying to vanish. "You grab her," I said. "You threw her to the ground. You made her bleed. For what?" I took another deliberate step forward. This isn't how real officers act. The second man swallowed hard. She wasn't following orders. She didn't need to follow anything from you. I snapped, "Because you too aren't officers. You're criminals in uniform." The taller man panicked and reached for his belt. A baton, his final mistake. Before he could react, I grabbed his wrist, twisted sharply, locking his arm behind his back. His scream rang down the street. He fell to his knees. The second man lunged clumsily. I sidestepped, sweeping his legs out, slamming him to the pavement. His fake badge skidded across the asphalt, landing near Emily's feet. "Emily, talk to me. Are you okay?" I asked. She nodded weakly, wiping tears. "I'm okay now that you're here," she whispered. The first officer groaned beneath my grip. "You think faking authority gives you the right to touch my wife?" he whimpered. The second, holding his ribs, stammered, "Please, we didn't mean for it to go this far." I tightened my grip on the first man until he gasped. "Now tell me, who sent you?" Silence. I leaned closer. "Talk." The second officer broke. It was the HOA president. "She said to scare your wife, to make you comply." Emily's eyes widened. "She sent them. She wanted me hurt." My jaw tightened. They finally saw it. This woman had no idea the storm she had unleashed. I released the first officer, shoving him toward their SUV. "Get in, go, and tell your president I'm not done." The 2 men scrambled, tripping over themselves, speeding away like frightened children. I knelt beside Emily, gently lifting her chin. I'm so sorry you went through this, I whispered. She leaned against me, voice trembling. I thought they were real. I thought they were going to take me. I wrapped my arm around her. They'll never touch you again. I promise. But inside, a fire burned hotter than any combat I'd faced. Now, it wasn't just about Emily. It was about justice, about exposing the HOA president who sent those thugs. And I was going to take her down piece by piece. The war with the HOA president was only beginning. If you want, I can also create 5 detailed AI image prompts and a thumbnail prompt with text specifically for the story next. Do you want me to do that?